I don't think the traditional 9 to 5 will survive the next decade. And this isn't just a feeling. The data behind it should genuinely be a wake-up call. I've been an accountant for nearly 9 years. It's been a pretty stable career, decent pay, doing everything I was supposed to do, but I'm not entirely sure what the future holds for corporate jobs going forward. And before you click off, I'm going to try to explain what's happening right now and the impact it's having. You probably already feel it, that underlying anxiety that no matter how hard you work, it might not matter. The constant news about people being laid off, the AI tools popping up that can do parts of your job listings that require years of experience for entry-level pay. This isn't being dramatic. The numbers are actually alarming. But here's what nobody tells you. The problem isn't just that individual jobs are at risk. It's that we're still operating like it's 2010 in a system that doesn't seem to work anymore, and then basically wondering why we feel so unstable. In 2025, over 240,000 tech workers were laid off. And before you think, well, that's just tech, it's not. Goldman Sachs estimates that AI could affect 300 million full-time jobs globally. That's not just fringe positions. That's everyone from customer service reps to analysts to even accountants. A recent report from the World Economic Forum projected that 22% of total jobs, that's millions of positions globally, are going to be disrupted by 2030. We're talking 4 years from now. So no job is actually safe anymore. I used to think accounting was recession-proof, automation-proof, whatever. But the reality is that AI tools can already do a lot of what used to take hours. That doesn't mean I'm going to be replaced tomorrow, but it does mean my skill set needs to adapt. And there's no guarantee that adaptation will be enough. I think the harsh truth is that job security as our parents knew it doesn't exist anymore. Companies are going to restructure, automate, or outsource the second it makes financial sense. There's no loyalty anymore because there's no incentive for loyalty. And if you're relying on a single income stream, a single employer who could cut you loose in a restructuring email, you're actually in quite a vulnerable position. I said the 9 to 5 model won't survive the next decade. What I mean is that the idea that you work for one company, climb one ladder, and retire with a pension, that's already dead. Also, it's important to understand the impact these jobs actually demand from us. I've mentioned in a previous video that the 9 to 5 is a complete myth. I don't know anyone in the corporate world who actually works those hours. The average American full-time employee works 44 hours per week according to Gallup. That's 9 extra hours beyond what we're technically paid for. And that's just the average. There's plenty of people working way more. But the thing is, it's not even about the hours. It's about what these jobs have become. Most corporate roles aren't about doing meaningful work anymore. They're about attending meetings that could have been emails, filing out reports that no one reads, just justifying your existence through visibility and stakeholder management. Obviously, every job has administrative stuff that needs to get done. But when the majority of your day is busy work instead of actual work, when you're spending more time performing productivity than being productive, I think that's an issue. And I'm not saying everyone hates their job or that all corporate work is meaningless, but the structure itself is breaking down. These jobs are demanding more hours, more availability, more flexibility from us, whilst at the same time offering less security, less work-life balance, and wages that haven't kept up with inflation. So you're basically giving more and getting less. And then you get home and you're too burnt out to do anything else. Weekends basically become recovery time instead of living time. You're not building anything for yourself because you're too exhausted from building something for someone else. And the worst part is that we've normalized this. We act like this is how it has to be, but it doesn't. Because whilst the traditional model is crumbling, something else is happening. People are actually opting out. They're not waiting for permission or for the system to fix itself. Based on recent statistics, more and more people have side hustles now, around 36% or so. That's nearly 2 in 5 people who've looked at their primary income and said, this isn't enough, or this isn't secure enough. But it's bigger than that. The creator economy, which is people making money from content, courses, digital products, is now worth over $250 billion. There are people making 6 figures teaching skills on platforms like Skillshare or Udemy. People selling Notion templates, spreadsheet tools, Canva designs. People building YouTube channels and audiences and monetizing through YouTube ad revenue, sponsorships, or doing affiliate marketing and coaching. And the barrier to entry is basically zero. You need a laptop and the internet, and that's it. This really changed my perspective. The world has fundamentally changed in terms of how accessible it is to make money outside of traditional employment. You can learn almost any skill for free on YouTube. You can build an audience on social media for free. You can sell digital products with barely any costs. And this is literally why I started this channel. It's not because I've got it all figured out, but because I realized that depending entirely on one income source isn't a good strategy anymore. I think it's important that people now have multiple income streams, not as a luxury, but almost as a necessity. Because when your industry goes through another round of redundancies or layoffs, due to automation or whatever, what's your backup plan going to be? I'm exploring teaching online, maybe creating digital products related to what I know, just basically building options for myself. Because the people who are going to be okay in the next decade aren't the ones clinging hardest to traditional employment. They're the ones who diversified, who built skills that translate across platforms, who created something that can't really be automated or downsized away. And I know what some of you might be thinking, but my job has benefits, healthcare, a pension, a steady paycheck. I can't just walk away from that. And I think you're absolutely right. I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. That's terrible advice for most people, including myself. I still work my 9 to 5. I need the stability and benefits, just like everyone else. What I'm saying is, use that stability right now to build something else. Your 9 to 5 doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be your funding source. It's paying your bills whilst you build a safety net. It's giving you the security to experiment in your off hours. I think we just need to stop pretending that these jobs are permanent. They're not. They're very fragile. And the skills that got you hired 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, might not be enough 5 years from now. The job market has fundamentally changed. Entry-level positions require years of experience. Companies are hiring less and demanding more. Wages haven't kept pace with the cost of living. And we're all just supposed to work harder and hope it works out. So here's where we are. The traditional career path is breaking down in real time. The data shows it. The lived experience also shows it. And we can either keep pretending everything's fine, or we can start adapting to the world that actually exists. I'm choosing to adapt. I'm building this channel. I'm learning new skills. I'm creating options for myself so I'm not completely dependent on one employer's decision about whether I'm valuable enough to keep around. Let me know in the comments, what are you building outside your main job? Are you diversifying your income? Or are you just sticking to your 9 to 5? I really do feel the old advice doesn't really work anymore. Get a good job and work your way up isn't cutting it when these jobs are disappearing or demanding everything from you whilst offering less in return. The 9 to 5 model, as we knew it, is dying. Multiple income streams aren't optional anymore. They're survival. The only question is, are you going to wait until it's too late or start building your backup plan now? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.